What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Kay here with Encourage Evolution. And today I wanted to talk to you about something really inspiring, really encouraging, really motivating, and that will help you to unlock things inside of yourself. Okay? You ready? All right, good. Now, before I tell you any of that, I wanted to just make a confession real quick, but you gotta promise not to judge me. Since I was a kid, man, I've had this one thing that a lot of kids used to make fun of me about, but even till to this day I'm still like this. All right, y'all ready? Okay, I'm gonna tell you, but you gotta promise not to tell nobody. No, matter of fact, scratch that. Promise to tell everybody, because I don't even care no more. All right, you ready? Okay, so I like to read. Yeah, I said it. I'm a nerd. I love to read. I like books. I like audiobooks. I like writing. I like all that type of thing. All right, maybe that's a little bit outdated. Who knows? Who cares? But I like to read. Reading stimulates my mind. So, I said all that to say this is a book review. Now, wait. Before you leave, just hear me out for a minute. Just hear me out. This is what I want to give you today. Okay? Everybody in this whole world was created to do something. I was, you are, even your cousin Ray Ray, even the most ridiculous human being you know on earth is put here on this earth to do something, okay? It's not about religious beliefs, it's about purpose beyond the realm of religion, okay? All right, so I have read this book. Now, this book looks pretty battered up because I've been all in this book. It's by Daymond John. If anybody knows him, he is the founder and the creator of FUBU, which was a pretty high fashion clothing line that I used to wear when I was younger. And he also is the host and founder of the show Shark Tank. This dude is the deal, man. Seriously. This book has really inspired me. The book is called Rise and Grind. All right? Rise and grind, outperform, outwork, and outhustle your way to a more successful and rewarding life. And look at that. I got notes up in this book. Yeah, I got notes up in this book. You ain't see it yet. But they in there. Some chapters was more noted than others. But anyway, so basically, everybody has a niche. Everybody has a thing that they're good at. Everybody has a spark. And sometimes you know what your spark is from when you were young. You know what your spark is from growing up and something inspired you. You know, sometimes you just stumble upon your spark by accident. I just saw this movie recently called Soul. I don't know if you guys have seen that yet, but if you haven't seen it, I'd suggest you see it. It's very inspiring. And basically, Soul is about this guy. He ended up dying, and he realized that his life was incomplete because he didn't do the thing that was in his heart. Things kept coming up in his life that put off his dream. But at the end of it, it was just like he ended up doing what he had to do and he had a second chance to live. Okay, well, that's a spoiler. Anyways, I'm gonna have to put that in the thing. But the movie is really good. You should watch it. So I said all that to say is that we all have gifts. We all have a reason to be on this earth. We all have a purpose, and destiny is calling you. I know it's calling you because you were led to this channel, and if you're still listening, then there is a message in this for you. All right, so I'm going to read a small part of this book so that you can understand why I'm into this book like I am. All right. So, The guy that I'm going to read about, his name is Michael Perella. He's a gym developer, a marketing beast, and an opportunity creator. Now, this is one part of the book. I'm not going to read the whole thing, just the part that stuck out to me. Okay? So, this is a part of his life where he was, doing pretty good. He had a business going and he lost everything. Like, he went for broke. And this says, okay, this is the moment of his epiphany. When you're broke and your business sucks, you don't even want to work, he reflects. I had days where I couldn't even leave the house. He'd been firing on all cylinders and now he was scraping. And it was in this place of desperation that Mike found true inspiration. He found it not long after the death of his mother, when he got to talking with one of his friends about what it might say on his own tombstone after he was gone. You hear that? He'd been thinking about his legacy, about the footprint he was leaving on this earth, and out of that, he actually began writing his own eulogy. He took out a yellow legal pad and got a page on or two into it when he brought down his pen and realized everything he was writing was crap. What does your eulogy say today? I'm not trying to be morbid, but just really think about it. I know we don't like to think about death as human beings, but sometimes you need to think about the end so that you can reflect on where you are and where you're headed. That's what I'm doing. That's what I had to do. Okay, so check this out. It was bullshit. This is what he said. It was bullshit. He says now, it was how I wanted people to perceive me, but it wasn't how I actually was. So he crumbled up his first draft and started in on a new one. This time he was brutally honest, listing all the things he wasn't good at, all the ways he'd failed, all the targets he'd set for himself and somehow missed. I'm writing this thing, he remembers, and it was just horrible. I get to the end and I'm like, man, I'm 41 years old. I'm at the middle of my life, and what have I done? Half my life is gone. And what have I accomplished? And then I had this moment where I realized, okay, I now have this opportunity to become the architect of my life. I am going to do things differently. I am going to rewrite my own eulogy. You hear that? So basically, the way Mike rewrote his eulogy was to rewrite his present. That's what he did. He rewrote his present tense. It took just about everything to realize that money wasn't what was driving me. What was driving me was the ability to change people's lives. Money only solves the problems that not having money creates. So, I want to tie this in with something. Alright, so years ago, I was just in a place of my life where I was very religious and spiritual. I was really hard after God. I was a Christian. And I still believe in God. Like I said, I do. But I'm not as religious as I used to be. But I do still believe. Okay, so I was reading the Bible one day, and it was talking about the parable of the talents. And it was saying that God gave people different amount of talents. And he basically said, go into the earth and invest this. The other servants, they invested and then they gained more. One servant, he had one talent, and so he hid his. At the end of all that, when the Lord, the master, came back, he asked what everybody did with their talent. The one person, he said, oh, I buried my talent in the ground because I knew you was a very shrewd master and I was afraid to lose it. And he called that person wicked. And then he threw them in the weepings of gnashing of teeth, in the darkness. Pretty much they went to hell or whatever. And he took the one talent that he gave to them and gave it to others. Now, when I was in meditation that day, I felt like the spirit said to me, burying your talent in the ground is like living your whole life and never doing what you were called to do, what your purpose is, what I put inside of you, never using it, discovering it, or investing it, and then you die with it in you. And then he expounded. He said, and I know this sounds crazy, maybe you want to say it's a conscious voice. I call it the voice of God because I know that my thoughts are not that high and lofty. Like, I'm smart, but I'm not a genius like that. But anyway, so this voice spoke to me and said, um, it said, the richest place on earth is the graveyard, because there are so many buried treasures there that have never been realized, or the potential and the worth inside of these treasures have never manifested. And that's where they lay. Riches that you can't even dig up and take because they're expired for eternity. And I thought to myself, there's so many things that I want to do in my life, but I always feel like I'm running out of time. And the older I get, I feel like I have less time than I had when I was younger. When I was a certain age, I felt like I would live forever and that time didn't matter. But as I got older, I realized how finite my life is. And I don't want to live my life and die and bury my talent. I want my talent to invest in the earth, and I want to help other people. And that's what ties in with this book. The one part that I read. It's like, you know, get inspired. There's more to life than just chasing after things for monetary gain. Yeah, I ain't saying that the money ain't, that we don't need it. I'm not saying that it ain't good to chase after money. All I'm saying is that whatever you pursue has to be worth more than just the money. Yes, go after the money, but make sure that the money adds value to you and to other people in a very deep way. Regardless of what your religious beliefs are, you don't have to believe what I believe. I'm not here to convert you or tell you who to follow. I'm just here to inspire you and to encourage you to look deep within and find the belief within yourself. Because everything you need is in you. It's already there. You just gotta dig it out. All right. So, this is another one that I had read, and it's talking about Grant Cardone, best-selling author, motivational force, real estate investor, and success multiplier. He wrote a book called Be Obsessed or Be Average and the 10X Rule. And yeah, so he said, I use the sun, he says, when I ask him how he keeps time. That's my first goal when I start each day, to get up before the sun. Doesn't matter what time zone I'm in. If I can beat the sun in the morning, I feel like I've had a major victory already. I try to do it every day. It's funny. So that's one goal that he had. Let's see. What else did he say? This is how he writes his goals. Whatever's on my mind, that's what I put down. Grant says of his approach. What I'm looking for there really is what's repeating itself. I might want to lose weight. I might want to put that down for a couple of days before it drops off. So when I notice that the same thing about earning $200 million in the year 2065 keeps showing up, that's the one I want to stick to. So it's basically about writing your goals. So write down your goals, write down your passions, the things that stir your heart. That's how you find out parts of your passion, parts of what you're here to accomplish in this world, what you might be the answer for. Also part of your, maybe your niche, something that you're really good at and that you like doing. Just do the thing. After he writes down his goals, he moves to breakfast, just a bit of protein, he says. Then a quick workout, just 20 minutes or so. He figures I'll do some cardio, some weights, some Pilates, possibly a quick swim. And he says, I'm not looking to build muscle. I'm just trying to get moving, trying to get that sense of being in control of my body. And the concept here is, if I can't control my body, how am I going to control my business? How am I going to control my money? How am I going to control my customers? How am I going to control the rest of the day if I can't even control 158 pounds? You hear that? So basically, fitness would play a big part with this person. Sometimes our weight and our physical is the only thing that's in our way to accomplishing our dreams, to be a part of that bigger thing, that purpose. So, whatever it is, just go after the goal, man. Just do it like Nike, you know? I'm on my own thing too. We all have different places where we could progress. We all have different things that we are here to do. But whatever that thing is, don't let life stop you. Don't let your circumstances stop you. Just get it regardless of your circumstances, regardless of lack. One thing that I realize in this rise and grind is that most of the entrepreneurs and the business owners that had wrote a chapter in this book, a lot of them came from nothing. A lot of them had to overcome failure multiple times. I heard this quote one time that said, "You have to go through failure to get to success." Okay? It's just a part of life, just like death is a part of life. Failure is a part of life. So, but you will succeed if you keep getting up. You will succeed if you keep getting up. And it may not be in the way that you thought you would succeed, but you will succeed. That's all I got for you today. Be inspired. Be encouraged. And do what you gotta do. That's all my time. It is K. Encourage Evolution.